Have you ever wondered why some people come into your life only when you're most vulnerable and disappear when things are going well? It's a painful truth that as we age, loneliness and the desire for meaningful relationships can make us easy targets for manipulation and emotional abuse. But it doesn't have to be this way. In this video, we're diving into 7 critical pieces of advice that every person in their later years needs to hear if you want to protect your emotional health, regain control over your life, and live your remaining years with peace and dignity. Then this is a must-watch, from learning how to stop blindly trusting those who only want to take advantage of your vulnerability, to breaking free from the invisible chains of always living. To please others, these truths are not easy to face, but they are necessary. Have you ever felt like no matter how much you give, it's never enough, or perhaps you're still waiting for that overdue recognition of your sacrifices will be addressed? These hard-hitting questions and more. We'll also tackle the importance of distancing yourself from toxic people, even if they're family, and discuss how holding on to the past can stop you from embracing the present. Life is too short to spend it surrounded by people who drain your energy or lament moments that have already passed. Stay with us until the end, because these life-changing insights will empower you to take control of your happiness, set healthy boundaries, and live according to your own rules. Don't miss the final piece of advice, which challenges a behavior that many avoid discussing, but can have a profound impact on your overall subscribe well-being. You won't want to miss this if you are not subscribed. I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. The first piece of advice is to never blindly trust everyone who comes near you. This may seem like a harsh reality, but in old age it becomes even more. Never blindly trust everyone. Crucial as we grow older, loneliness often creeps in, and the desire for meaningful connections becomes more intense. We long for companionship, for someone who will share in our experiences and listen to our stories. However, this longing can sometimes make us vulnerable, leaving us wide open to those who do not always have the best intentions. It's heartbreaking, but not everyone who steps into your life is there to lift you. Have you ever noticed how certain people seem to gravitate toward you when you're feeling weak? They appear just when you're struggling, but as soon as you're back on your feet, they disappear, almost as if they were never there in the first place. It's a painful truth, but these individuals know exactly how to prey on your emotions and your vulnerabilities. They know how to manipulate your kindness and take advantage of your weaknesses. It's so hard to acknowledge this because trusting others feels natural, especially when you crave that connection. Think about that friend or relative who always shows up when you're at your lowest, but suddenly vanishes when life starts looking brighter. Have you ever asked yourself why that happens? The sad reality is that many of these people are only interested in what they can gain from you. Maybe it's your money, perhaps favors, or sometimes it's simply the don't live in constant distrust, comfort of knowing that they hold a certain control over you. They thrive on your dependence, knowing that when you're at your most vulnerable, you're less likely to say no. But here's the thing, life doesn't have to be lived in constant distrust. You don't have to shut people out completely. What you need is a more critical eye. You need to develop the courage to say no when necessary and to protect what is most valuable to you, your peace, your stability, your dignity. It's not easy. I know we all want to believe that people have good intentions and that they care, but life has taught us that not everyone deserves our blind trust. The more vigilant you become, the more you'll preserve your emotional well-being. You'll start to see through those who seek to take advantage of your kindness, and by doing so, you'll avoid getting entangled in toxic situations that rob you of peace. You deserve to live your final years without regrets. You deserve the freedom to trust, but with the wisdom to question when something doesn't feel right. Now let's dive into the second piece of advice. Stop living your life to please others, especially your family. I know this is hard to accept for years. You've likely dedicated yourself to your children, your grandchild, and your spouse, always putting their needs above your own. It's been your role to take care of them, to be available whenever they need you. But here's the truth. This pressure to constantly meet their expectations doesn't disappear with age. It gets even more intense. You start to feel as though this is not love. Your value lies only in what you can still do for them. But let me tell you something. This is not love. This is not a measure of your worth. It's a prison. Have you ever wondered why, even after giving so much of yourself, you still feel unfulfilled, empty, or even resentful? It's because no matter how much you give, there will always be more that people expect from you. And while you continue sacrificing time, your finances, and even your health to keep others happy, ask yourself, who is taking care of you? The truth is, no one will unless you do. Many family members may see you as a never-ending source of support, emotionally, financially, and practically. They don't hesitate to lean on you and sometimes even to take advantage of your generosity. And what do you gain in return? Too often nothing but exhaustion and ingratitude. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment one below to let me know that you are still here with me. This doesn't mean you should stop caring for your family, but it does mean that you need to shift your focus back onto yourself. You are at a stage in life where your happiness, your well-being, and your dreams should matter just as much, if not more, than those of the people around you. You've already given so much of yourself, and now it's time to start living for you. Don't feel guilty for wanting to put yourself first for once. If they love you, they will understand, and if they don't, then the fault is not yours. It's time to break free from the chains of always living to please others. You deserve to spend your final years focusing on what brings you joy and fulfillment without guilt and fear. Trust me. This is the moment to reclaim your life, your peace, and your dignity. The reality is often difficult to accept, but many family members see the elderly as a never-ending source of emotional, financial, and practical support. They lean on you, expecting you to always be there for them, and in many cases they don't hesitate to abuse that role. They take your generosity for granted, and what do you receive in return? More often than not, it's nothing but ingratitude. No reason to feel guilty. This can be incredibly painful, especially after you've spent so many years giving so much of yourself. But the truth is, you're now at a stage in life where you need to prioritize yourself. You need to seek your happiness and pursue the things you've always dreamed of, but never had the time or courage to do. It's essential to understand that there is no reason to feel guilty for wanting to focus on yourself. You've earned this. You've given so much of your energy, your love, and your resources to those around you, and now it's time to break free from those invisible chains. If your family truly loves you, they will understand the shift and focus, and if they don't, well, that's not your fault. You cannot sacrifice your well-being to meet the unending demands of others. Your well-being must now be your top priority. Stop living your life solely for the benefit of others. Think about it. You've already given so much. Isn't it time for you to start receiving? Distance yourself from toxic people. Isn't it time to live for yourself without guilt, without fear? This isn't selfishness, it's self-preservation. It's the only way to ensure that you live your final years with peace and fulfillment. Now let's talk about one of the most difficult, but also one of the most important pieces of advice. Don't be afraid to distance yourself from toxic people, even if they're part of your family. This is a tough one. I know we've been conditioned to believe that family is everything, that no matter what happens, we must maintain peace and harmony within the family. But at what cost? How many times have you endured abuse, emotional manipulation, or even humiliation because you were told that family comes first? The brutal truth is that sometimes the most loving thing you can do for yourself is to walk away. It doesn't matter if it's an ungrateful child, a grandchild who only seeks you out when they need something, or even a spouse who consistently disrespects you. Your mental and emotional health is more valuable than any blood bond. Don't let society or your conscience deceive you into thinking that old age is a time to endure everything for the sake of keeping the peace. On the contrary, this stage of life is your time to seek peace for yourself, to build relationships that seek peace, bring you joy and comfort, not stress and anguish. Imagine what your life would look like if you started setting clear boundaries. Picture how much more peaceful your days could be if you distance yourself from those who drain your energy or rob you of your happiness. It's time to take back control. You no longer have the luxury of time to waste on people who don't truly care for you. The years you have left are precious, and they deserve to be spent in the company of those who bring you peace and joy. Old age is not a time to swallow bitter pills just to maintain coexistence. It is a time to seek genuine peace, to surround yourself with people who uplift you. Imagine the transformation in your life if you begin to set boundaries and, when necessary, distance yourself from those who harm you. This could be the key to reclaiming your happiness and protecting your emotional health. Remember, you deserve to live your remaining years in comfort, surrounded by love and care, not in stress, in constant turmoil. Your well-being should always come first. You no longer have the luxury of time to spend on people who drain your energy or continuously undermine your happiness. This is your life, and it's time to prioritize what matters: your peace, your joy, and your well-being. It's time to truly value your own company and choose to be surrounded only by those who genuinely care for you and bring positivity into your life. You must remember that your well-being is first and foremost your responsibility. No one, absolutely no one, has the right to keep you trapped in a toxic relationship, regardless of who they are. You have the stop expecting recognition power to walk away and protect your emotional and mental health. The fourth piece of advice may be difficult to accept, but it's essential for your inner peace. Stop expecting others to recognize your sacrifices. I know this can be a bitter pill to swallow throughout your life. You've likely made countless sacrifices for your children, your partner, your friends, always believing that one day they acknowledge how much you've given and express their gratitude. But the harsh reality is that recognition rarely comes. This unfulfilled expectation can eat away at your soul if you let it. Have you ever found yourself reflecting on all the things you've done for others, silently hoping that at least someone would say thank you? And how many times has that? The painful truth, heartfelt acknowledgement never come. The painful truth is that by expecting recognition, you place your happiness in the hands of others. You make yourself vulnerable, hoping for validation through their words or actions. And when that gratitude doesn't arrive, the disappointment and bitterness can start to grow inside you, turning into resentment over time. What's important to realize is that your sacrifices don't lose their value. Simply because they go unrecognized, the worth of your actions isn't dependent on someone else's acknowledgement. Your generosity, your kindness, your love. These things are part of who you are, and that alone gives them meaning. But if you truly want to find peace, you must release yourself from the need for external validation. You must stop waiting for others to approve of or appreciate your efforts, especially now in your later years, when time is far too precious to be wasted, waiting for something that may never come. If you are the key to happiness, still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment below to let me know that you are still here with me. The key to happiness lies in letting go of that expectation. Accept that some people may never fully appreciate what you've done for them, and that's okay. Your life should not be defined by others, recognition or approval. Instead, find pride and fulfillment in knowing that you acted. Find pride and fulfillment out of love and generosity, and let that be enough. Once you free yourself from needing validation from others, you open the door to a deeper sense of peace and self-worth. Remember, you don't need anyone else to validate your worth. You already hold that power within yourself. Accepting that recognition may never come does not diminish the value of your efforts. It doesn't mean that what you've done was pointless or without purpose. Instead, it signifies that you are choosing to liberate yourself from the invisible chains of others' expectations, allowing you to live a more free and authentic life you've already given. So, be proud much. And now it's time to live for yourself. Be proud of everything you have accomplished, all the sacrifices you've made, and the love you've shared. But remember, your worth is not dependent on whether others acknowledge it. The power to feel valuable has always been within you. It's yours to claim and hold. The fifth piece of advice may be difficult to hear, but it is perhaps the most transformative. Stop using your age as an excuse not to change. This is a harsh truth that many struggle to accept. How many times have you heard someone say, or perhaps even told yourself, "I'm too old time for change"? For that, whether it's learning something new, breaking away from harmful habits, or allowing yourself to find happiness in new and different ways. Age is often used as a barrier, a convenient excuse to remain stagnant. But here's the reality: as long as you are alive, there's always time for change. Many people believe that after a certain age, there's no longer any room for deep, meaningful transformations, whether in the way you think, behave, or live. But disbelief is a dangerous myth, one that traps people in a mindset of resignation rather than renewal. In truth, old age can be one of the most powerful times for change. Because with age comes wisdom, perspective, and a deeper understanding of what truly matters in life. You've accumulated wisdom over the years that younger people simply do not yet possess, but that wisdom is only valuable if you dare to apply it. Think about all the opportunities you may have missed because you believed it was too late. How many dreams were set aside? How many adventures were never pursued? How many loves were never experienced because you convinced yourself that those things were no longer for you? The real tragedy is not in aging itself, but in the self-imposed limitations we place upon ourselves due to age. What few people dare to say is that age is an advantage. It grants you a perspective that only time can offer, a clearer understanding of what brings fulfillment and what doesn't. It's not about being too old. It's about realizing that you can change at any point in your life, whether you're 60, 70, 80 or beyond. The only thing truly holding you back is yourself. Yes, it's change uncomfortable to admit. Change can be difficult, especially when you've lived a certain way for so long. But once you acknowledge this truth, it's also liberating the moment you stop letting age be your excuse. You unlock the potential to embrace new opportunities, experiences, and happiness. You're never too old to transform your life, to chase new dreams, or to redefine your purpose. The limitations are not in your years. They're in your mind. And as long as you're willing to challenge those mental barriers, you can continue to grow, learn, and live fully, instead of seeing your age as a limitation. Try viewing it as a launching platform for new possibilities, because as long as you are alive, there remains infinite potential for transformation. That change, whether big or small, can breathe new life, meaning, and flavor into your existence. The real barrier lies not in the number of years you've lived, but in the way you think about those years. The moment you free yourself from the mindset that age equals stagnation, you open yourself up to a world of fresh opportunities and experiences. Your age is not a roadblock. It's a tool that can help you navigate life with the wisdom and clarity that only time can bring. The sixth piece of advice can be hard to accept, especially as the years go by. Don't cling to the past as if it's your only haven. Nostalgia, in small amounts, can be comforting. It can remind us of cherished memories and good times. But when we allow ourselves to live more in the past and in the present, we risk becoming prisoners of our memories. While those memories are undoubtedly valuable, Prisoners of memories, they should not be the driving force behind how we live our lives today. How many times have you caught yourself saying, back in my day, things were better or I was happier before? It's a natural feeling, but it can be a dangerous one. If it takes over your thinking, that kind of nostalgic longing for the past is seductive. It pulls you in and makes you believe that the best moments of your life are behind you. But the truth is, by holding on too tight to the past, you close yourself off in the beauty, growth, and opportunities that still lie ahead. Yes, the present may not be perfect, but it is real, it is tangible, it is the embrace, the here-now moment you have right now. And that makes it invaluable. If you spend too much time looking backward, lamenting what has already happened, you risk missing out on the life that is still in front of you. You end up not fully living what could be, and that is one of the greatest ways of the precious time you have left. The past holds its place, but the future still holds promise. Don't let the comfort of your memories prevent you from creating new experiences. The key is to find balance. Honor your past without allowing it to define or limit your present. Embrace the here and now, because it's all you truly have. And in doing so, you will discover that life still has so much more to offer you. Spending too much time dwelling on what is already past robs you the opportunity to live in the present and experience what still lies ahead. It's a waste of the precious time you have left. Life moves in cycles and create new memories. While the moments you've lived in the past have their value and importance, it's now time to turn your attention toward creating new memories, finding fresh sources of joy, and reinventing yourself in ways you may never have imagined. You are not defined solely by your memories. You are also shaped by the choices you make and the actions you take with the time that remains. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment. Relive the good times 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. As tempting as it might be to relive the good times of the past, you must remind yourself that those moments have already served their purpose. They played their role in shaping who you are today, but they are no longer the present. The challenge now is to find fulfillment and meaning in your current life. What can you still do, see, and feel today that will bring you joy? Don't let nostalgia for what once was blind you to the possibilities of what can still be. Life is full of surprises, but only if you allow yourself to open your eyes to them. It's your choice. Do you remain stuck in what has don't masturbate everyday past, or do you embrace the potential for new experiences? The 7th piece of advice may feel uncomfortable to discuss, but it's necessary. Don't masturbate every day. While this may be a topic that many avoid, it's important to talk about it openly. Masturbation, when done in moderation, is a natural and healthy part of life. It can relieve stress and provide a sense of comfort. However, when it becomes a daily or compulsive habit, it can signal something deeper, a desire to escape from emotions, loneliness, or even dissatisfaction with your life. Have you ever wondered why you might feel the urge to masturbate daily? Often why masturbate behavior stems from an attempt to fill an emotional void, or to cope with feelings of stress and frustration. What seems like a quick fix or temporary relief can over time turn into a vicious cycle. The immediate gratification you seek in that moment may begin to replace your pursuit of deeper, more meaningful connections with others and even with yourself. While the physical act may bring short-term relief, it's crucial to finding balance. Ask yourself, is this truly addressing the root of your emotions, or is it merely providing a brief distraction from them? Finding balance in all areas of life, including your sexual health, is essential to living fully and meaningfully. When masturbation becomes a way to avoid confronting deeper issues, it may rob you of the opportunity to engage in healthier emotional growth and connection. The truth is, as we grow older, it becomes increasingly important to focus on achieving balance in every aspect of life. This includes how we manage our physical and emotional needs daily. Masturbation, while providing short-term relief, can gradually drain your energy, leaving you feeling isolated and disconnected. In some cases, it can even create distance in intimate relationships, replacing the deeper connections that bring lasting fulfillment. When we rely too heavily on one source of pleasure, like masturbation, it becomes easy to overlook other more meaningful ways to nourish our emotional and physical well-being. Rather than seeking pleasure solely in this way, why not explore a variety of activities that joy and satisfaction can bring you? Joy and satisfaction, simple activities such as walking, reading, pursuing hobbies, or even engaging in meaningful conversations with friends, can offer more enduring fulfillment. These experiences can reconnect you with the world around you and provide emotional nourishment without the negative side effects of a compulsive habit. Moderation is a key. By reducing the frequency of masturbation, you open the door to discovering new forms of pleasure and well-being. These forms may be more balanced and enriching, contributing to a more satisfying and holistic life. It's not about eliminating masturbation, but rather ensuring that it remains part of a healthy lifestyle. The conclusion goal is to prevent it from becoming an escape mechanism that distances you from deeper sources of happiness and true emotional connections. Finding that balance can lead to a more fulfilled and intended life. As we come to the end of this video, take a moment to reflect on everything we've discussed, from learning to protect your emotional well-being. Breaking free from the chains of expectations, embracing change, regardless of age, to finding balance in all areas of your life. What has resonated with you the most? We'd love to know what you've learned so far. Please share one thing from this video that you'll bring into practice in your life in the comments below. Remember, true transformation begins when we take action on what we've learned. If you enjoyed this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content that inspires and encourages a healthier, happier life.